Now, the drama Inimba starts tomorrow on Mzansi Magic. It's a story about a mother's love that won't be silenced. Cast members Ayakha, Ntunja and Zenande Mfenyana are joining me now for more. All right, Ayakha, Zenande, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. This looks thrilling. This looks very interesting. Let's talk Inimba. You guys shot this, what, 2 months ago? It's already going on air tomorrow. Yes. Talk to us about your experiences and especially about the storylines in Inimba. First, explain what Inimba is and just how it relates to our everyday life in South Africa. Zenande?
For me, Inimba, more than anything, it's a feeling, a gut feeling that a mother has, a connection that a mother has to their child, whether good or bad. The mother feels it in their womb, and it's like an unexplainable feeling. Yeah. So for me, that's
it certainly is that. Yes. Ayakha, maybe let's just speak on how pertinent it is for storylines and the stories that you tell as thespians, as artists, in how they need to relate to how we live our lives, in how social issues are panning themselves out in the way that they are, and how you depict them on the small screen.
I think it's very important to always take what we have and the opportunities we have and the platform we have to refer back into everyday life and social life. Okay. I always tell people, especially with my characters, that it's not really about how many people like her, but how many people relate to her. I know there's that one kid looking out there and saying, okay, I understand Kawe's story and I see where it's going, and thank you for telling my story. Because sometimes you're silenced and not a lot of people have the opportunity to speak and to be heard. And we do that through our art, through performance.
When art imitates life.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you play Tumega.
I play Tumega,
The main character is Zolega.
Zolega.
And that's what we saw now in the trailer of this young woman.
Let's
this
go
young
there.
woman who, it sort of seemed like from the early on, her life was already going a certain tangent in terms of her career and how great she would be. But she starts off by starting a family, and it doesn't necessarily pan out the traditional way. Just talk to us about that storyline and where Tumega, who is your blood cousin to Zolega, but raised as sisters, and where that character comes in. So
with Tumega, I mean, she comes in and to come and help Zolega out with the new baby. Okay. So she comes in as the help, but also the things that happen while she's there are very unexpected, they catch everyone off guard, herself included.
Oh, really?
And it then becomes a whole thing of her now having to raise Kawe as her own. And I think the audience is going to be quite surprised by the twists and turns that happen following her arrival at the house.
At the house.
Yes.
And so Kawe is Zolega's daughter, but raised by Tumega.
Yeah.
Are you able to divulge whether you knew whether or not Tumega was your mother early on and what that transition was like?
Am I able to divulge?
No. Okay.
I don't think I can, but it took me by surprise as well.
Do you think it's a storyline that a lot of young children would be able to relate to in growing up in a certain world where you're protected and next thing you wake up one morning and it's completely different?
No, certainly so. I think a lot of the time with family dynamics, especially with parents, you know, and I always say parents are also living their life for the first time and they protect you and they guide you and they keep you in this little bubble and treat you like an egg. But the truth comes out one way or the other. I think in personal life as well, we always have those experiences where you find things out later on. You're like, this picture-perfect family that I thought I had is not what it really is. And that's what Kawe goes through. And I can hear, this character, man, it takes you there where you try and see it from her point of view and you feel for her. Because just imagine being lied to for
your whole life.
For your whole life.
Right.
Ever since you were born. You didn't know this. But
And you can only protect a child for so long.
Because
the truth does come out. The truth does come out.
Let's face it then.
Absolutely.
Zenande, you play Tumega like we say, but you could possibly also relate to other characters that are played by other people. Any relations that you could find with Zolega's character in terms of someone who's a mom who wants to raise a family but sort of chooses the career over that?
Are you asking if I relate more to Zolega's character or my character?
To Zolega's character.
Zolega's character, definitely. That whole thing of wanting to pursue your dreams and not being held back by anything, not even your husband. For me, Zolega is a go-getter. She's a fighter. And she's going to be fighting she's fighting a lot of people's stories. A lot of women go through that, you know, where you come from a family that is saying it's the man's word or nothing. And she says, no, I am going to stand up for myself. I'm gonna speak up. These are my dreams. Because also she would feel inhibited by the husband, but for how long? And she'd grow resentment towards him had he not, or had she not spoken up and said, I'm pursuing my dreams. So it's that resentment that would have settled in eventually.
Are we finding more women taking that route and saying, well, this is my life, these are my dreams, take it or leave it, and then they do pursue that career over raising a family?
I'm definitely seeing that. I'm definitely seeing more women standing up for themselves and really just owning their own shoes and saying, this is it, take it or leave it. It is what it is, honestly. We can only go the patriarchal route for so long, you know. And so Zolega is that, you know what, this is what it is.
And I'm taking this route.
Yes.
Talk to me about other cast members. How was it like working with what seemingly is a quite good ensemble of actors and actresses in the country?
Oh, I can speak about my cast all day. We're like a family on set. Yeah, from day one, from our script read till now, and furthermore, I think we protect each other. We guide each other. I always ask for guidance as well. You can, all the time. I'm like, guys, correct me if I'm not right. But I think we are really into telling the story as best as we can, and the only way we can do that is working with each other, is helping each other build these characters and understand. And it's also a very emotional journey. And I don't think people understand when we're shooting those scenes and we're crying and we're breaking. It's not one take, it's not two takes, it's 5 times, different angles. And you need to carry each other in that scene and help each other complete it. And I think for me, I appreciate my cast so much. They do it every single day.
And what's the work that needs to go into healing yourself? When you have to go into that depressive state and then come out of character and be Ayakha once again?
I think for me, I learned over time is how to debrief. But even in debriefing, it's not easy. You know, when you're in that moment, you call cut. I can't just switch off immediately, so you need to go home. You need to get in a hot shower. You need to pray if you pray, whatever takes you, you journal. And for me, that is what I do to get back into my element. And then I step back into it the next day. Because I can't carry that weight of Kawe the whole time.
Most certainly. Zenande, I mean, Ayakha speaks about referencing of other actors. Now, you've been in the industry for quite some time. You have an expansive career within your acting, right? Very massive.
Come on, guys.
What does it take for you to learn from younger co-actors on set?
I love that you asked that, because I mean, you can just never stop learning as a person, you know, from older actors or younger actors. You learn so much, and being exposed or being open to learning is what keeps me grounded as well. You know, my daughter's 4 and I still learn stuff from her.
Of course.
She teaches me stuff about the world and myself. And so I think, you know, taking that into my performance and just walking onto set with a clean heart and a pure spirit and being open to learn. The possibilities are endless, honestly. So I learned so much from Ayakha. I learned so much from Sisa. We really just roll like a family. You know, we feed off each other. We laugh so much off set. That's
too much, actually.
A little too much sometimes. You know, so honestly, Katlego, it's a lovely family.
That's wonderful.
On and off screen.
That's wonderful. In closing, ladies, what would you want the viewers to have as a takeaway after watching the series?
I hope they can feel our hearts. Because the heart of the story, which Usipo Setu has mastered so creatively, I hope that we as the actors can bring that heart to life. And I hope that the audience member can feel our hearts, because every time I read the story, I'm always like, oh, this is so beautiful.
And it happens, and you're like, oh, geez, this is amazing. Yeah.
And you, Ayakha?
I think I would say the same. Our heart, but mostly, I think this is a show that is mainly focused on just performance.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
There's no violence. There's no. It's really just you and I and our interactions every single day. It's a normal family household. You wake up, you have breakfast, you go to work, you come back, you sleep. It's literally that. So it's mostly, I want people to just watch us and feel so relatable.
Yeah, relatable. That's the word. Right? Perfect.
And that's so important because, I mean, people speak of how storytelling is no longer just about storytelling. It's about the graphics and the gimmicks and the stunts and everything all around it. But if you're saying it truly is just about the conversations and the heart, I'm sure many South Africans would be looking forward to it. Ladies, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for
It's been
having
lovely
us,
speaking to you. We can't wait. Inimba, premiering tomorrow, the 14th of April on Mzansi Magic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.